the Silver Dasher.
Well, good morning. It is Friday. Getting ready to start my breakfast dash. Before we started the app, trying out some new equipment. Got a microphone right here and see if this will help with a clearer voice and hopefully reduction in road noise when I'm driving. So yesterday was a rough day, not only because, the orders were kind of sparse and I ran into that, string of, orders that I wasn't never going to take, double mileage and then, back to back to back. So my acceptance rate went down. But it got towards the afternoon, it really got hot and it just beats on you. So anyway, like I said, it's early morning, still somewhat dark out, just a early light shining. It's going to be interesting when we do the time change again. Hopefully it'll be, we fall back. That means it's going to be really dark when I start on the breakfast. But yeah, so now heading towards my initial waiting area that I always do for my morning run, and hopefully today will be a better day than yesterday. At least hopefully we get more orders. So anyway, seeing you in a little bit. Well, I am now in my standard waiting area next to Starbucks. Haven't had an order yet. Oh, speak of the devil, and I'm taking it. It's a McDonald's for $9 for 7 miles.
Drive southwest on Dr. John Hay.
So, all right, that was quick. I had just parked, so let's go ahead and get started, and see you in a little bit. I just made that McDonald's delivery out in the country. Actually been to this house before. Directions were easy to follow. That's the difference where I DoorDash. Like anything, like I said, I've watched other YouTube videos of people who do DoorDash, and it seems to me a majority of them, or at least all of them that I've seen, they're all in major metropolitan cities, and they're making, doing, like, for example, I saw one video of a gentleman who made $2,000 in 7 days, but he was working 14 hours each day, but he was also a very young man. I said, I couldn't do that. No, I probably could if I was a lot younger. But here, where I live, it's a small little town outside of a major metropolitan city. So a lot of my orders that I go to, it is country. So a lot of rural roads, dirt roads. A lot of times I have problems, trying to find the correct house, because a lot of times the mailboxes don't even have the number on it. They're supposed to. But I rely heavily on the app, and also use the Google Maps. I have CarPlay for navigation. Sometimes I have to revert to that and type in the address to get a bit more accurate location. But I'm, about half of my deliveries are out in the country. Not very far, 7-8 miles, but the city itself is not really that big where I'm based out of. But yeah, a lot of winding, country roads, county roads, a lot of county roads. So anyway, off to somewhat good start. Got that order within 2 minutes of me parking, and it wasn't for Starbucks like most mornings is, but it was from McDonald's. In fact, there was another order for another DoorDasher to pick up. So anyhow, I am now heading back to base, so to speak, and see if I can get another order real quick. So till then, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered a Chick-fil-A order for a little over $9 for 9 miles, but it's to a business that I've been, this is my third time going there, but what makes me a little proud, or put a smile on my face, is in the DoorDash app, when you are arriving at your destination, 9 times out of 10, you will see a picture that you can click on to show you where to, for example, if the customer asks you to leave at the door, and you'll see a picture of a previous drop-off that somebody did at that door, right? Well, at this business, right, I just clicked on the picture just out of curiosity, and lo and behold, it's my picture that I took the last time I was here. And so, and I don't know, if the next person I will deliver there will see that, or if I saw it. But yeah, this is the first time. I've been doing this 2 months, and most of the time I look at the picture, the drop-off location, usually, and that's helped a lot, because I've been in some places where I couldn't figure out which house, but if I look at the picture and I say, oh, that door is over there. So a little small to my place, it's a little silly, but it's a picture that I took that's within the DoorDash app. So anyhow, I am now, and the location of business was the next town up. So I am now going back to my starting location. I'm hoping maybe I pick up an order in this area on my way. I'm just outside the zone, but I'm about to go into the zone to see if I get one. But if not, I'm going to work my way back to my usual starting location, and hopefully I pick up another order here real soon. It is now 12:05. I've been doing this dash just over an hour now. Temperature is 82 according to the car. Slightly cloudy. It's when you step outside, it's cooler, but inside, it's hot. So anyway, enough for that, special surprise. So I will see you at the next time. Well, I just delivered that order from Burger King. A little bit of annoying though. They had me wait over 10 minutes. I hate having to drop. You just already invested 10 minutes for the order, and I never done this, but you can cancel your acceptance of an order, and I believe if they have you waiting for over 10 minutes. But to keep, from my understanding, to keep your account, you rarely want to do that. But some restaurants and some people, managers, they got. I want to ask about the time. The person there, kind of give me an attitude. So I said, look, I'm just asking because the customer's asking. It's different folks for different, how different folks, behave. So you just run into that, but you just be courteous and kind. So it is now 7:30. I've been dashing just a little over an hour, and I think I've done about three orders, 3 dashes. So I'm going to head back to my normal waiting area, which is outside Starbucks. Let's see what happens, and see if I can get another order here real soon. So in the meantime, we'll be back in a minute. All right. Well, I just delivered a Chick-fil-A order, but a little annoyed because there was an offer right before that one, also from Chick-fil-A, but it was $5 for 12 miles. And I said, no. And now that I've been getting these ridiculous offers, now my acceptance rate is down to 90, which is pretty bad now. So then I got another Chick-fil-A order, which was $7 for 2 miles. Oh, okay, good. Then as I was delivering just this one just now, got an order, it's Starbucks, for $7 for 11 miles. And I said, oh, crap. So I went ahead and accepted it, because if I decline that one, I go below 90%. So, and it's kind of like, oh, crap. So I'm to the point where I want to keep at least 90%. You know, I heard, you know, from things that you want to keep at least your acceptance rates. You know, you can keep it above 70 and still maintain your tier. I'm a platinum tier. But they said, you know, it's better to keep it at 90 or above. So anyway, so now I'm arriving at Starbucks to pick up this order. And plus that Chick-fil-A order was a big order. You know, it was like 28 items. You know, it's like it was delivered to a business. I think they were having, you know, the owner, you know, or manager or whatever was supplying breakfast for everybody, which is fine. You know, I always enjoyed that when I had a manager that did that. So anyhow, so it took that order took a little longer, and even Chick-fil-A, and they're busy. You know, Chick-fil-A is always busy. So I'm here at Starbucks, going to pick up that order, and hopefully this will, the next ones I get will be a little bit better. So we'll talk to you in a minute. I just delivered that Starbucks order for, you know, $7 for 11 miles. But pleasant surprise is I have delivered to this customer before, and reason I remember it, it's the road is a little rough. I'm sitting here in all-wheel drive mode. As you know, it's somewhat nice little neighborhood, but the roads are atrocious. You know, this is in the city, the next city up on the interstate, and as you see, I'm sitting here hitting potholes and all that. But the reason I remember this order is when I showed up, her instructions are very specific, because the GPS, the app, will take you to a road that goes through somebody else's farmland, and it's gated. So you have nice, and the road looks a little underdeveloped. So I go to the next turn, and sure enough, that's the easy way to get there. But the reason I remember this order is when I showed up, where I originally turned in, this is the bus stop, and her kids were late for the bus, and so I had to get out of her way. She says, oh, I gotta hurry and get the kids here. Just leave the order on the back of the car. You know, they had another car parked there. So, and so I said, oh yeah. But see, this time when I saw the instructions, I remember that. And sure enough, it was easy. You know, when you start remembering, you know, yeah, go to the next one, and it went directly to the place. So anyway, well, now I'm in the next town. Just as I finished that delivery, I got an order to pick up a Jack's order, but here in this town. So yeah, so this somewhat inconvenient order is paying off now. So anyway, so I'm heading to Jack's. So we'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered that Jack's order here in the next town, but it was a foobar of an order, dash. None of it my fault. When I arrived at Jack's, the order was taken by another customer or driver, but they were bringing that order back. But you know, I can't take an order that's already left the building. So they, quote unquote, redid the order and gave me that. And as soon as I was getting ready to leave, the other person came in. So I had the original receipt and put it on there, took a picture, and delivered it. Delivered to a business that I've delivered before. And as I was trying to get ready to, you know, in the middle of delivering, you know, they were questioning, hey, why is it taking so long? So when I got to the customer, I explained to them the situation, and had to go. But the problem, the second problem I ran into is the app told me my delivery zone, according to the business, was on the edge of the parking lot, not where the front entrance of the business was. So their app doesn't work very well. I had to contact support. Their phone support has changed. It says, please verify that you're doing everything that the app tells you. Well, the app doesn't work. When I say complete, it just doesn't do anything. So I had to go through chat support. Now that was way better. I just go and explain exactly, and they were able to manually complete my order. But unfortunately, the customer, when I gave him the order, he opened it. Oh, I'm missing an item. I said, crap. I told him, it says, the bag was, the lady gave me a bag sealed, and I can't verify. I had to go by what the receipt was. So I told him you would have to contact DoorDash and I had to tell them the problem. And seeing that looks bad on me because, it's a ding on me because, quote unquote, I did not verify the order. Well, I can't verify the order when the bag is sealed and I only go by the receipt. So that's a bummer. So anyway, I'm now back on the interstate heading back home to my home, location. But I got 6 more minutes left before my morning dash is over. Now this morning has been very pleasant. We had some rain recently, so I think we got a cold front come in. It's been very foggy this morning. So right now it's almost 9 o'clock and it's at around 74. So I'm hoping that it stays that way the rest of the day. It stays cool because the past few weeks it's been just brutal. The heat wave that's happening. So anyway, I am heading back to the home station. Hopefully maybe I can get an order before my session ends this morning. So if not, I will do if not, I will give you a summary of what happened this morning. So see you in a little bit. Well, I am back home. Unfortunately, I did not pick up an order for those last few minutes, which is fine. I'm going to now go take a break. Like I said, I always take a break, a couple hours, because my lunch, that's a 4-hour dash for me. Eat a little early lunch. But the summary for the breakfast run this morning was actually better than the one I had 2 days ago, which was my best morning at that time. Now this one is my best morning. So I wound up with $61.89. I did 6 deliveries. I had to decline one. So, but that one order that I was reluctant to accept because it was more mileage than $1, wind up being a good thing because I wind up picking up an extra order while I was out there, and that put me over my record. So anyway, so now I'm going to go inside, rest up a little bit, eat early lunch, and we'll start again for lunch. So see you then. Well, welcome back. It is now a little before 11 o'clock. I'm now starting my lunch dash. Looks like it's brightened up. Looks like the skies are cleared up. So hopefully it won't be that hot, but I'm not I'm not that confident it's going to be a hot one. And that's why I went ahead and got me 2 Gatorades, so I don't have to make a return trip. This morning was surprising. Despite having to reject a dash order, today was the most I ever made on a breakfast dash. So hopefully the trend will continue with the lunch dash. So I am now heading to my parking space waiting spot that I do during lunch to get me started, hopefully. And we'll see how the weather Yeah, it's still some clouds, but it's sunny. It's already in the mid 80s. So hopefully it won't get that hot, but I'm not holding my breath. So anyway, right, so I will be back with my first order. So we'll see you then. Well, I just had my first delivery of the day. That was a Zaxby's order, a little over $5, but it was only 2 miles away. It's a local business here. I've been to this business before. Yeah, I picked up that order like 30 seconds after I signed off on the intro clip. So hopefully that's a good sign. Yeah, it's bright and sunny, sunshine, but a little cooler according to the car at 78. It's now 11:09, so I am now heading back to my normal waiting spot. Hopefully I don't have to wait long to hopefully pick up another order. So until then, I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I just delivered a order from Wingstop. This is the second time I've been here, and this is the local jail that we're at, the local county jail. Kind of unique operation how to get in. Have to push a button at a gate to be let in, and then walk into the visitors entrance where there's nobody there. They just have a one-way mirror, speaker, and then this big sliding box. So take the food out, take a picture, put the food in the box, and that's it. Don't see a person, no nothing. And that's the little visitors area, I guess. When people come if they want to visit friends or relatives or happen to be in jail, it's a security point right there. So very interesting. Second time, and first time, I was trying to learn how to do it, but now that I did it once, I knew exactly what to do. So it was unique. So, all right, now I'm going to kind of make a loop around because the county jail's in downtown, and I'm going to make my way back to the interstate and head back one exit up to get back to my starting area. So hopefully I'll get another order real soon. So until then, we'll see you then. Well, I just delivered a Chick-fil-A order for a little over $9 for 9 miles, but it's to a business that I've been, this is my third time going there, but what makes me a little proud or, put a smile on my face is in the DoorDash app, when you are arriving at your destination, 9 times out of 10, you will see a picture that you can click on to show you where to, for example, if the customer asks you to leave at the door, and you'll see a picture of a previous drop-off that somebody did at that door, right? Well, at this business, right, I just clicked on the picture just out of curiosity, and lo and behold, it's my picture that I took the last time I was here. And so, and I don't know, if the next person I will deliver there will see that, or if I saw it. But yeah, this is the first time I've been doing this 2 months, and most of the time I look at the picture, the drop-off location. Usually, and that's helped a lot because I've been in some places where I couldn't figure out which house. But if I look at the picture and I say, oh, that door is over there. So a little small to my place. It's a little silly, but it's a picture that I took that's within the DoorDash app. So anyhow, I am now, and the location of business was the next town up. So I am now going back to my starting location. I'm hoping maybe I pick up an order in this area on my way. I'm just outside the zone, but I'm about to go into the zone to see if I get one. But if not, I'm going to work my way back to my usual starting location, and hopefully I pick up another order here real soon. It is now 12:05. I've been doing this dash just just over an hour now. Temperature is 82 according to the car. Slightly cloudy. You know, it's when you step outside, it's cooler, but inside, you know, it's hot. So anyway, enough for that, you know, special surprise. So I will see you at the next time. I just delivered that DoorDash from Chick-fil-A. It was $6. Had to call the customer because At told me to turn right here, and actually it was the wrong house. Her house was I could see her house up, but the driveway was like 10 feet from the other driveway, so it was kind of hard to figure out. And then as soon as I got her on her driveway, big old black snake right there in the middle of the road, and it looked like a water moccasin. It was black and big, you know, thick, you know. And the people that drove ahead of me, I guess they were relatives. They came back and they ran over it. And the snake is dead now. So, but I took a picture of it so I could show my wife. Yeah, bad husband. So, anyway, heading back to my normal area. I did have to wait about 5 minutes though before I got this order. I was in my normal parking spot, but pick it up. So hopefully I don't have to wait as long this time. So, all right, we'll see you next time. Well, I just delivered a Zaxby's order to a customer I've delivered before, but God, I feel bad because, you know, the Zaxby's put their order on the place, and I just picked it up, and then when I delivered it, the lady said, "Where's my drink?" And I looked, and sure enough, there was supposed to be a drink on there, but the order previous that I picked up from Zaxby had a drink, so I thought they had everything there. So that was my mistake. I should have double checked. She said it was okay, but I told her, I encouraged her to get a refund or a partial refund, go to the DoorDash app. But now, from now on, when I go to Zaxby's and they have stuff up there, I got to double check that there's not a drink on that. This is the first time, you know, I never had a problem with Zaxby's missing an item like that. So I just assumed everything was right. So, you know what they say about assuming something, you know, well, I made that mistake. So, but I won't make that mistake twice. So anyway, so heading back to parking station. In fact, I picked up this order real quick after that last drop off. So anyway, on my way to my parking area, and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, just delivered a Burger King order. Got that order practically right after, before I even parked. It came in pretty soon after I left off the last clip. But this is all. This whole day has been nothing but interesting and first. This is the first time that I've delivered an order to a gas station, and it's the gas station that my wife and I use all the time because it's the closest one. It's the Shell station that's closest to our house, and we use the Shell account for all our gas. So I knew exactly where it was. So another first here, but yeah. But actually, you know, delivering to, you know, the employee that's working the gas station inside. So, all right, it is now 1:20. I got about another 40 minutes before my session. According to the app, things are starting to slow down now. So I think what I'm going to do, I think instead of going to my normal place, I think I'm going to hop over to McDonald's and see if things may pick up there. So if not, if I'm there and nothing happens, then I'll come back over here. So, all right, hopefully I get an order real soon. Well, until then, we'll see you there. Well, that was a quick buck for doing nothing. As I was pulling into the Walmart parking lot, I got an order from McDonald's. Then when I went into the store and I looked at the the order, there was on top of that, this has happened to me once before. The app says, please verify with the store that the order was sent. Oh yeah, I'll go there.
Drive north on Martin Street, US 231. Then turn right onto 9th Avenue.
Was sent through a different apparatus like the DoorDash tablet, having to verify it, and the McDonald's crew has told me that their DoorDash equipment has been working at all day. So I said, okay, if their DoorDash has not been working all day, I'm just going to go back to my normal size. But I can do an order. It's $8 something and 11 miles, but it's from a restaurant that I like to go to. It's that strange. But since so it was canceled, not by myself. DoorDash canceled it, but I still get half the pay. So that was walk in, verify, get a little money. So this has happened once before, and it was at another McDonald's where this is a problem. So this seems to be maybe a common occurrence, not common, but so far the two instances that I've had this happen were both at a McDonald's. So anyway, I'm off to a Chinese restaurant. My wife and I went there recently. After I went there to pick up an order the first time, and I looked at their menu and I said, oh, this food looks good. So we went last weekend, and the food was really good. They had a roll called a Green River roll. Oh God, it was good. It had shrimp, crab, and eel in it. It was good. It was really good. So anyway, that's where I'm heading now, and I'll see you in a little bit. Well, I'm done dropping off that Asian food. It was 11 miles, but it was to a place. I've been here before, but it was one of the very first places that I delivered to when I first started DoorDashing. So I don't know how DoorDash works, but this is about the 5th time I've been to the house. Same customer, and so when I see that, so I know exactly where it is. Half the time I don't even need the app. But I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to recognize a lot of places that I've been to, same customers, which kind of makes sense. There's several people who tend to do a lot of door dashing. Some people, the older generation like me, are, why would you pay an extra $10 already on top of the food to have it delivered? Well, different folks have different, situations. For example, that young lady I delivered to, she's at home, has 2 young kids, so it's very convenient for her if she wants to get, a meal from McDonald's, or in this case it was Zaxby's, so you don't have to pack up the kids in the car to go and then drive. Sometimes it's worth the $10 or $5 or whatever extra to have the food delivered to you. So I can see the appeal. I can see one of the repeat customers that I've been to before is an elderly lady that's in a wheelchair. I've been to her house 3 times, twice where her daughter was there, and I was able to hand the food to her. And the one time that her daughter was not there, I helped get her, it was a pizza, I remember that, Little Caesar's Pizza. I helped her deliver the food through the door to hand it to her. So, different folks have different reasons, Now, I do go to, and I will tell you a little bit funny story, is when I first started doing door dashing, and I was somewhat embarrassed because it's losing your job. It's not getting laid off and losing your job. It's not fun. It's somewhat you get the feeling sometimes you're worthless. Something's wrong with you. And so the first week that I started doing door dashing, I had to deliver food to the place that does all our maintenance on our cars, our oil changes and tires. We buy our tires from there. And I noticed I was going there, and I know the people there very well. And so I pulled up, somewhat embarrassed, so they looked at me and said, "Oh, what you doing?" I said, "Well, I got laid off, and I'm doing this now." But, they didn't judge me, but what makes it funny though, they were ragging on the employee that ordered the food, and it was the manager of the store. So, yeah, he's here to receive his $40 McDonald's hamburger. Of course that was an exaggeration, but it just shows the mentality of the generations. Younger people like this a lot, because they grew up with apps and tablets and phones and stuff like that, smartphones. My generation, computers, personal computers were not invented. We only had black and white TV. Oh my God, black and white TV. And for some people didn't have TV. They only had radios. And I've talked to some younger people that said, "We don't have black and white TV." TV came in black and white. Said, yeah. But heck, I remember when the VCRs first came out. Of course, VCRs are not used anymore. And then we had DVDs, and now DVDs or CDs are hardly ever used because everything now is streaming service. Everything from music, movies, and now your orders. Fast food can be picked up and be delivered. Back in the old days, but the only place that had takeout was Chinese and pizza. You had to call for pizza delivery. But things have changed a lot, and now there's several companies there. There's companies where the drivers will actually go do the shopping for you and then pick up and deliver it. Unlike Walmart, where you can go, you can order stuff and you drive there and they load it for you. But this is a DoorDash or whatever the application is, where the drivers, they get your list and they go pay for it, and then they deliver it. So pretty soon, we're going to have a society of people that live in pods. Call them pod people. You just live in a pod, and everything's delivered. Pretty soon everything's going to be delivered by drone. That's going to really ruin door dashing. Well, heck, Uber and Lyft, the people getting order for rides and all that may be in trouble too, because recently I saw a video they were discussing. Elon Musk's company Tesla now has those self-driving taxis they're testing in some major cities, and so that's going to put a hurt on Uber and Lyft. Not right away, because there's going to be still a lot of places where people need Uber and Lyft, but it's going to come. It's going to come. So the market changes, and you have to adjust. So, well, anyway, it's now 4 after 2. Got a little less than an hour left in my session. Ooh, my camera accidentally went off. Sorry about that. But yeah, got a little just under an hour left. So I'm heading over to back on the interstate, heading back toward my normal parking area, since it seems McDonald's is having issues. So I'm going to go over there where I usually stop near the Starbucks. So anyway, hopefully pick up an order soon. So I'll see you then. Well, that order was quick and easy. It was a Chick-fil-A order for $6, but just had to go across the street to the shopping center and deliver it to the Ulta Beauty store, my wife's favorite store. Oh, and I just got a $5 tip. That was that little ding. I just mentioned that. That was appreciative. That made my day. So it's now 2:42, about 15 more minutes. I'm going to see if I can get one more order. If not, I'm going to call it a day. It's been okay of a day. I've had better, had worse. It's been sunny all day. Not as hot as far as air temperature, but inside the car and air conditioning is still pretty warm. According to car, it's 87. It's only 5 degrees lower than it was for the past few days. But still, it's still pretty warm. I'm gonna be honest with you. Can't wait for cooler weather. Now, I hate super cold weather, like a lot of people, but cooler weather, fall weather. So anyway, I'm gonna head back to my waiting station as normal and see if I can get one more order before I call it a day. So, see you in a little bit. Okay, I did pick up one final order. It was Subway at the Walmart. That's 2 days in a row. And unfortunately, the customer is on this gravel road. As you can see, I'm in all-wheel drive mode, running through the ruts here. But the instructions to get to the house was very were accurate, and it helped me a lot. So I really appreciate that. And that is the end of my day. It's 11 after 3. So I am heading back home, and I'll give a summary of the day and running total of what I've done so far. So see you in a little bit. Okay, I am back home. A little tired. It's been warm most of the day. It almost got to 90 again. For my lunch dash, I did $61.79, 10 cents less than what I did this morning. But this morning I only worked for 2 hours, but I did 4 hours for almost the same amount. But that was a good day. Above average for myself. But what got me, I had 9 orders. Well, I refused one. Of those 9 that I did today, 3 of them were at Chick-fil-A. That's the most I ever done from Chick-fil-A. But it makes somewhat sense since I was parked near where Chick-fil-A was. But I got a lot of them. So yeah, and plus then I got a couple tips today. I had a $2 tip and a $5 tip. So I'm very happy about that. So the running total for the week is exactly $437. That so far is my second best week since I've been doing DoorDash. The first week of this month, the last week of last month, I did 441. So just under the top. So I'm not complaining. Like I said, if I make at least 350, I'm happy. But over 400, I'm ecstatic. So anyway, I'm gonna call it a day. Gonna go in, rest up. Since today's Friday. Friday is go shopping day for my wife and I. But it's also our one time that we go out to eat. So she keeps ragging at me because this week it's her pick, and she wants to go Mexican. So that's where we're going. So anyway, hope you enjoy this. I ask you to, please subscribe and put a like on the videos. And other than that, I hope to see you next time. So see you on the next trip.